it's been a hectic month, but she said yesterday was a long old day. Says we were still at the club last night, 8:30, 9 o'clock, still trying to get things done, and I say I was happy with business we managed to get done yesterday.
How pleased were you didn't go down to the last couple of minutes though, that you did manage to get them with maybe an hour or two to spare?
Yeah, I think it's important. We were still trying very hard last night to bring another one in, maybe two, but also it didn't happen. And I said with the players we did bring in, and yesterday we were delighted with it. We managed to get them, and it's been, as you say, a long day trying to get things done. We were going right up till we possibly could to try and get another one done, and it unfortunately didn't materialise.
Let's talk about those that did materialise then. Billy Clark, we've just spoken to him, he's delighted to be back here. How pleased are you to have him in the building? Yeah,
I'm delighted. Obviously Billy's played at the club, he was desperate to come back. I think he's never off the phone trying to get back into the club, and that's the type of characters and the type of players we were looking for. Obviously he's played here before, he's got a great affiliation with the club, and his experience and where he was wanting to play, and it gives us cover in certain areas of the pitch.
I was going to ask how much that affiliation means for you to get into the building as well, when you are in the position you find yourselves in. How much do you need that?
Yeah, I think I always say it's important that we get players in that want to play for Bradford. Also, Billy's played here before, he was desperate to come back, and as I said, we're delighted that we managed to get him signed to the end of the season. So it gives us great experience, and if anyone of the other players in that position get injured, then whatever he wants to play, then we've got great cover and great experience.
Can you look beyond the end of this season with him, or do you have to just treat it as let's wait and see what happens as this season pans out?
As I said before, everybody's come in as short-term deals, but looking forward to the longer-term future. That we need to make sure that we get right players in for where we are in the league, and that was the most important thing at this moment in time.
And he's got the quality, you believe, that adds to this squad as well, I imagine?
Yeah, of course, we get experience. He's a very good footballer technically, but it was important that we tried to get another one or two in, and we managed to do that. So I'm delighted with the players who have come in, and obviously Billy's experience will help us through till May, hopefully, and my aim is to stay in the division. And I think his character and the way he wants to play football and what Bradford City means to him was a big plus for me.
Shows how quickly these deals change though, doesn't it? He said he first heard about it a couple of weeks ago. Yesterday morning looked like it wasn't happening, and then the next thing you know he's here, he's signing, it's done.
Yeah, well, that's a transfer window for you. So it's happened on one occasion with other players, so yeah. It's just one of these ones now where we've got it done. We're glad it's over, we've got a settled squad now, and we're looking forward to the remainder of the season now.
What about Jacob Butterfield as well? Player of great quality, he struggled to get into the team at Derby obviously, so how much does he have a drive to come out and get some games?
I think it's important. There was a lot of clubs interested in Jacob. We managed to get him, I managed to persuade him to come to his hometown team, so I think it was a great draw for him. Fantastic footballer. You only need to look at the games he's played, the clubs he's played for, and he'll add some. He's a great footballer, and these things will add a wee bit more experience again for us. Very technically, very good footballer, and we just need to make sure now that everyone who has come in was going to add to the group, and I'm sure he will too.
Did you use those heartstrings to pull on then when you were trying to get him to come here?
Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, you've got to. I think it was a big pull for him to come back and play for his hometown team, and as I said, there was a number of Championship and League One clubs who wanted to take him, so we worked very hard to get him in, and I'm delighted that he's chose to come to Bradford.
He does have a heck of a lot of Championship experience, doesn't he? He was playing with Wednesday last season, Derby last season as well, struggled this year, but to have that pedigree again coming into this side, it must raise everybody else's games around it.
Yeah, of course. I think the better players you got, then your players will try and rise up to his players have played. I think he's never played League One before, Jacob, so he's always played the Championship, so fantastic for us that we managed to get him. And as I say, I'm sure he's quality, and I'm sure the players will feed off that, and I'm sure he'll feed off the players that we do have at the club at this moment in time.
Where are they both at fitness wise? Neither have played that many games, so how quickly are they able to be included in your plans?
Yeah, I think they've been included. I think they've been trained, they've been playing 23s games, I think they've played a few, so but we've had it before with other players that's come in, and there's just the starting line-up, so I've no issues with anybody's fitness. I just think adrenaline the first 3-4 games, and hopefully by that time we'll get him up to speed in training.
Talk us through the George Miller situation. There's always a bit of confusion about that one yesterday. He got sold by his club but he's remained here. How did it pan out from your perspective?
Well, I heard about it 3-4 weeks ago, just before the window opened, and obviously George was on loan here. There was no recall on it, so it was a situation where I think early in the window maybe affected George a wee bit, and we decided that the best option was to let him go and speak to Barnsley for his own career in Middlesbrough. part of the deal was that he came back to us on loan for the remainder of the season. It took a few weeks to get ironed out, but it got there in the end, and we were delighted we still got a loan player. But obviously George has enhanced his career. Well, he's went to Barnsley. It just shows you what a job we've done with George since he's been here. We've developed George and we've managed to get him a move, but we're not getting any money out of it.
Yeah, I guess that's the big loss. But how grateful are you though to Middlesbrough, the fact that they've stood by it and said, well, there's no clause, so he's staying with you to the remainder of the season?
Yeah, well, I think it was in a contract, so it was pretty one that we could keep him. So no, it was fantastic. You've got to give Middlesbrough and George's agent and Barnsley a club. We all worked really hard to try and make it happen. It's happening, and it's worked out in the best interest for everyone.
An important for him to kick on now then, isn't it? So that he's impressing his new club Barnsley, even though he's not playing for his new club Barnsley.
I think George has been fantastic since I've come in. I think he's developed. I think mentally he's getting fitter, he's stronger, and he's done really well. So these are the things where he's maybe not going to play at Middlesbrough. He's went to a new club. He's still at Bradford, so it's a wee bit but fantastic for him. He's a great kid, and I think just the nail in the window, as I says, it maybe affected his performance, and these things now put to bed, and hopefully Josh can kick on for Bradford to the end of the season.
What about the outgoings as well? You managed to get a couple out of the building. How important was it for you to do that, both I guess financially, but also for those players' sakes as well?
Yeah, I think it's been a window where I think January's a window where it's very difficult to get players in. It's even more difficult to get players out. So to get players out on loan, and some players have left and moved on, it's been fantastically hard work, both it, but it's good that players have moved on, they went on loan. There's a lot of players who have moved on in the club, and I'm happy with what's happened with the club overall. But it's been a difficult window. You say financially, we had to make sure that things are right, because we've tried to bring another couple in, but we had to make sure that everything at the club comes first, and the playing side we had to kind of manage a bit better than we thought we had to.
How pleased have you been with the backing from Stefan Rupp then during this window, and his hands-on approach now he has come back towards the club a little bit? Yeah,
I think maybe fans are looking for a lot more players to come in, but it was important we kept the lone players that we had, because the four of them could have left, went back to their parent club, and I don't think fans realise how hard you had to work to make sure they remained at the club. So these are things that were working hard behind the scenes. We've managed to get a few players in. There was 2 or 3 other targets we tried to get in, possibly another couple of strikers, but they didn't materialise because it's a tough window. You only need to look at the likes of Sunderland and the Portsmouth and the bigger clubs in the league who all had money to spend, and found it very difficult to try and attract a striker in a very difficult window.
How much stronger do you feel you are now then than you were on the 1st of January?
I think we are. I think with the players we've let go, and the players we've managed to release, get in on loan and permanent deals, and I don't think it's cost the club any money. So from that perspective, I've managed to work wonders with Julian, and I think Stefan deserves great credit, because he did have to pay a lot more of Jack's wages to keep him here, and he's been fantastic. He's probably had to put some money in to make sure the club remains in a stable position, so he deserves great credit. And I think we all did, and we all worked hard to make sure that the best thing in this window was for the club.
Team news wise, how are you looking for the trip down to Wycombe, if weather permitting it goes ahead?
Yeah, everybody's fit. As I said, we've got a full squad to choose from now. Obviously new players have come in yesterday. I'll travel with the squad, and we just need to make sure that we try and pick a team, and tomorrow I'll have a bench that I can look at and think we can change it at any time I want now. So, but it's important that we don't change too much, because I think new players are, as you say, they only arrived late last night, and their first change session are on a 4G pitch covered in snow.
Yeah, it's not exactly fair, is it? I suppose that to them.
Yeah, no, of course it is. It's sort of, we just need to make sure. Hopefully, game's on tomorrow. As I say, we'll finish training in a couple of hours, and we'll head down to Wycombe, and we go there with a squad of players now that I'm looking, and I'm confident that the players now can see through the end of the season.
Like you sort of said to them, there's an opening to go out on loan for players who aren't involved. Obviously, those who have not gone out on loan, like Josh Wright, Joe Riley, people like that. I mean, what's the situation with them now?
Just think they'll still be Bradford City players, unless I think the non-league window is still open. Then I think the only other one's the League of Ireland. So they'll be here until summer now if they don't get anything. And we've got a squad of players. I'm not dismissing anyone, but I say the same thing. I think 1 or 2 options to go on loan, maybe 1 or 2 fell through. And it's, as you say, it's a difficult one for players, because they need to go and play football. But obviously, if clubs haven't come in or the deals not materialised for different reasons, then they'll remain here to summer now.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've brought players in, so you've pretty much got a squad in mind. I mean, they're obviously not in those plans. Is there a way they can get back in, or is it just a case of they've just got to sort of bide their time? And
yeah, I've not ruled anything out, but as I say, we're difficult now. I think we're up to 23. Your first team squad ones, Kelvin Mellor and Sean Scannell are back, and they're not too far away. So we're going to have maybe 21, 22 players, but you never know with injury crisis and everything else. And I said the boys are here, and as long as they're here, they'll train as normal. And as I said, at any time they do need them, you might have to use them. But these things are, at this moment in time, the other boys are in front of.
And obviously, the one thing everyone sort of talking about, the fact that you brought Billy Clark in, there's no sort of target man, sort of big striker. I mean, is that something you're quite comfortable with?
Yeah, I keep getting reminded of the same thing. I played in Scotland, and I think a lot of people get misperception. I never had a target man 2 years at Livy. I get 2 promotions, so I think we're getting carried away with sometimes when we play football, and sometimes the ball maybe go a bit longer and people think, oh, you're playing long ball football. I've never played it. I think you've seen my record in Scotland. My 2 strikers were 5'9" for 2 years, so everybody wants a target man. We'd like somebody. We've tried very hard to get strikers in, not just a target man, but as you say, it's a very difficult window. You've got teams in our league who have really struggled, and then even the players that we were interested in, like the other clubs who are at the top of the league, we just pay 2 or 3 times the money to get them in, so that you didn't get them. So it's a window where I'm happy. And it says in touch wood, but you look at it, it's not a place where we've really struggled to score goals. If we were getting doing 0-0 every week and 1-0, we were struggling, then it would have a bigger power than it was. But we've seen to get goals from everybody. We've got players who can score goals, and players we've brought in, I'm sure can add to that and all.
And there's a sort of versatility about your attacking players. Obviously Billy's another one. You know, David Ball, they can play in sort of different roles, can't they, as well?
Yeah, I think they all can. I think they'll all complement each other. And it says you've probably got a nucleus of 7 or 8 players now. You can change your front 5 players. There's things that the club we're trying to work on. Also, we've got 6 loans, which is going to make it a wee bit interesting in the next bit. I'm sure we're trying to work some to hopefully try and make David Balls permanent. So that was the saying in it. Hopefully we can get David done over the coming weeks. Then we're back to our 5 loans, because I think he's been fantastic since he comes in. And as I said, we've been in dialogue with him. And also we had to kind of hang fire a wee bit. So maybe somebody might miss out on Saturday, but it's something we'll speak to somebody about. And then after that, hopefully next week, 10 days, we can get David Ball to sign a permanent deal, which would be fantastic for us.